y'all, and welcome back to a mini fan episode of Catch That, where we get to know our friends through their favorite songs. I am Naturally Elise, and that's my bro.
JR.
We are the R&B representatives. And today we are welcoming back our good Judy, Maxine. Hey, boo.
Hello. Hey, boo, hey.
And for the folks who didn't catch your first time that you visited with us, tell them a little bit about yourself, as much as you'd like to tell.
Sure. I am an HR lady. I run an HR consultancy called Z Inc. I've been doing that for almost 11 years. I am also a board member and co-founder of the Present Future Foundation, which seeks to help women get all their things by helping them with financials around training and going to conferences, things to help them advance their careers. I am also a podcaster. I am the host of the Mostly Max and Other Things podcast, where I ramble each week about stuff and talk to my friends about what they do for a living and how they got there. And I'm happy to be back, and this time not make y'all cry.
She came to make us dance. So tell the folks what song you picked to talk about today.
I picked the legendary "I Wonder If I Take You Home" by Lisa and the Cult Jam. A body roll song.
Yes.
Yeah, so when do you remember first hearing the song, and how did it make you feel when you first heard it?
Oh man, I had to be maybe 10 or 11, in the Bronx, where I'm from, the South Bronx. It was summer, if I remember. And I was like, oh, this is a bop, because you heard that opener. And I was like, oh, they mean business here. And then that beat dropped, baby. It was WAP time. It was time to hit that. You had to get it. So like that song was running shit for that whole period. Like you heard it everywhere. You heard it out of every car. You heard it at all the block parties and all the jams, because that I was too young to go to. I was down to go to the jams, but my mom wouldn't let me go, but I could go to the block parties. So all the block parties that summer were playing it. I feel like that summer was like all the heavy hitters. I think it was like Eric B. for President, Peter Piper. So like all these heavy ass songs came out at the same time with it. So I have like really good memories around it, because it was like, you know, you was gonna hit that dance floor and you was gonna hit it hard.
Yeah. Yes, yo. That joint is like, oh God, when I first heard the joint, it's just a sing along. Like you want to sing along to it. Like as soon as that chorus comes in, it's like boom. You know what I'm saying? Like Elise said in one of our episodes, like she said, was it Michael episode when you was like, if you don't move with working day and night, yes.
You're a corpse.
Like if you don't move to something with working day and night, I don't trust you. If you do not sing this book, I do not trust you, yo. At all. Same. All.
Like, you're clearly a dead person and you shouldn't be here. You're a zombie.
Yeah, we're not friends. I don't know you. I don't know her. Like, no.
She's canceled. Get her out of here.
Yeah.
So what are some of the like specific parts and things about that song that you love?
Oh man. I think just basically the sound of it, like, I don't know, man, like you gotta move around, and like definitely that take me breakdown. Listen. You was about to get your hardest WAP going on that breakdown. Okay, Full Force of them was in the back really begging, and you were like, yo, getting it. Okay, you were going to get it. And it just brings back all these great memories of like being at the block parties and seeing chicks you don't like and having a WAP battle with them, because y'all ain't fight like that back then. You just have a WAP battle, whopping all hard in their face and shit. That's what we did. It was fantastic.
Right. Because then, like, the dudes would just start breakdancing with each other. Like, you didn't with no fighting. It was like, we ain't fighting.
Like,
I'm about to kill you right now. Like, what you talking about?
I'm gonna give you my hardest and sturdiest wop in the middle of this joint. Like, we gonna be just getting it. Like, yeah, that girl from that block, you see her over there, she thinks she's cute, let's go over there. And that's what's gonna happen. It was just this, like, I don't know, it just makes me feel joyful. Like, and like all of those memories attached, like being a kid and running the streets and getting into stuff I shouldn't have been getting into at all. And like just running the streets with my friends and being carefree and not having no bills.
Amen. Oh gosh.
And one thing that Full Force is good at, they good at making a song that you sing along to, but also can dance to. Like they the kings of that.
They got it. They nailed it. They definitely nailed it.
You know, they were the because they kind of consider this like freestyle.
Yep.
That's what they consider. It's like freestyle, and you know they was like with that because you know before then. I think this was kind of like the first big crossover, even though it didn't, like me and Elise was just talking before we started, it crossed over, but it was just for the culture for it was, because it like peaked to like 38 on the charts or something. But R&B and dance charts, it was out of here. You know what I mean?
And though it didn't cross over to mainstream on the charts, it did cross over culturally because everybody does know that song. I thought that when that song comes on in the bar, which is mostly white folk, like it'd be a whole lot of shit they don't know, but they know that song.
Interesting. Because you know the funny thing about that period for me as a kid, like with hip hop starting and like really becoming more prominent and everybody, you know, a lot of the legends that you know now, they were putting music out every week. This was every week. So we would hear like all this stuff happening every week. And I always thought of it as something regional that was just a New York thing. I didn't realize, especially with freestyle, because freestyle was my shit. Still is my shit. I didn't realize people outside of New York were listening to this stuff. I thought it was literally just people putting on BLS, people listening to KTU and hearing all of this music. I had no idea that it traveled. Of course it did, but I was a kid. What did I know about it? You know what I mean? It just felt like it was music that was in a bubble just for us.
It did.
You know what I mean?
Hip
hop felt that way. Freestyle felt that way. A lot of the people who did R&B like locally, it felt like that too.
Yeah, because they were saying during that time, because it was like they said before then, you know, you had like Shannon Let the Music Play, which kind of gave you that vibe. You know what I'm saying? Africa Bambaataa with Planet Rock. It kind of gave you that freestyle, but this kind of crossed it over. And it's so crazy that it hit overseas first before it hit us. Like the DJs wasn't rocking to it. Like it's crazy because I think I watched the interview with what's his name? Not Bow-Legged Lou. What's the other one, Elise? I knew these your guys.
Oh, B-Fine?
Yes, yeah. So he did an interview and he was like, we did this, we thought we loved it. Like we loved it. But then it was like people wasn't rocking with it. And then he said that Bow-Legged Lou did an interview and said, yo, this song was put on a compilation. Is that what it is? Compilation. What the hell did I say? Sorry, words are hard, like Elise. Words are hard. But he was like, it was put on that. And then the next thing you know, it blew up. Like overseas was rocking with it. And then the American DJ started playing it. And then it went over the place. But like you said, Max, it was regional. We knew it. New York knew it. Like, like you said, they were rocking to it at the block parties. They were going crazy with it.
Yeah.
Once mainstream got a hold to it, then it kind of went global. You know what I'm saying? But it was just us. But just to know that, yo, overseas, they know good music when they hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there are people who are famous because of the overseas folks.
The overseas stuff. Because it's like here, it's like, people be like, yo, that song was like Loose Ends. We just did an episode with Grab, and I was watching an interview with Jane from Loose Ends, and she said, yo, they asked her, when did Hanging on a String hit for y'all? She said, oh, well, in the UK, it hit for us back in 1983.
Oh, wow.
And then Jeff from BLS was like, well, yeah, it didn't hit over here to 85. She said, well, there's your answer. I'm like, oh shit. Like, so it's like, yo, they love it over there. But when it took a minute for it to get here, and I'm like, yo, it's still like that today. Because they said if you go over to Europe and you listen to their radio, it's so versatile. It's so versatile. But when you
there was a time when we were like that, and we haven't been like that in a while. And I think that's probably because of the corporatization of music in general and the stations, and how, you know, you're gonna hear the same 4 or 5 songs 27 times in a row over an hour or something like that. Like once they started programming things differently and not breaking new records or playing B-sides and shit like that, you know, it kind of was a wash.
Yeah, it used to be so fun, yo. Like the radio in the late 80s and early 90s.
And college radio too, where a lot of shit broke. Like a lot of hip hop you didn't hear anywhere else, you would hear there. And like there was a, you know, New York was snobbish about that stuff. The R&B stations never played hip hop. You had like 2 hours, you get your Mr. Magic or your Marley Marl. You get your Red Alert on Kiss FM.
On Kiss,
and you get a couple hours, and that was it. And that you didn't really get hip hop on New York radio. As prominent as it is now, it's hard to believe that you barely ever heard it. Like they were staunchly anti playing hip hop.
Anti. Oh my God, just to think about that, like
crazy to me.
And it's New York, where the birthplace of hip hop, and the radio stations wasn't rocking with it. Like,
they did not bang with it at all.
No, we good. And then something like this, they really ain't gonna rock with, because it's got that hip hop vibe to it. It got, you know what I'm saying? It's still street.
And also, it wasn't necessarily Black music either, because it was a lot of Latin folks making the music. A lot of freestyle was like, you know, TKA and Noel and Stevie G and Brenda K. Starr. There wasn't like Black folks in front of that. So there was also like the clannishness of it all as well. Even though, you know, Latinx folks was right with us in the hood, right with us doing B-boy shit, and right with us, you know, listening to the music and help create it and moving it forward. So, you know.
Oh yeah. Yo, you know, you talking about your funniest part. You know what my funny part is in the song? Really, when Lisa shows her how can I say this without being mean? Her Spanish roots. Because I love when she be like, I love so much as you do. Like,
she was giving you.
I love that part, yo. I'll be like,
the finest that they had around the way. She really did. You are not wrong about that. If you love me, you will wait. I was like, that's also why I loved it, because she sounded like the girls I was growing up with at the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like all of my friends, I had Puerto Rican friends and Dominican friends, and like that's what they sounded like. That's what we all sounded like. Because all of us was like speaking Spanglish and shit. I didn't know what the fuck I was saying, but I was speaking Spanglish. I knew the curse words.
Right. Okay. Oh God. Oh man. But yeah, I love this record though, man.
And I also want to say, hey Bole Lou, if you're watching, that's our friend.
Right. We ain't talking about Tyrone Davis this time. Catch that.
Catch that, Mr. Lou.
We dirty, yo.
Y'all being messy.
Oh my God. But yeah, at least got the vinyl behind her too.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, what a time.
Yeah, of course.
What a time. Of course she does.
Yeah.
Flex.
Yeah.
And then I also have you know, this is the album with Lost in Emotion. And
where they really went off. That one went off.
Yeah, that was when they really got that commercial. That's when
they went off.
They were number ones out everything. That
when you would hear it on Z100, that's how you knew what was up.
That's when you knew.
She got to Z100.
Yeah.
Hey,
she said she knew when Spanish Fly hit, when they went to Radio City Music Hall and they sold out. She said, I knew. She was like, and that was on They Unsung. And she was like, I knew then. I was like, she was like, yeah, we in there. I got my mom to look at a sold out Radio City where we used to walk by it and be like, oh, we'll never get up in there. And to get that, she was like, it's crazy. It's nuts just to see that. You know what I mean? Like,
what a time.
Yes.
What a time.
and with them doing this, I really want Full Force to get more respect than they do.
They deserve their things. Give Full Force their things.
Yes.
Like literally, they have built the sound of a lot of shit. Like all of those Old Towns and 98 Degrees and all them early tracks that them cats put up. That's Full Force, baby.
Yes. Yes. And then, they did Roxanne, UTL.
Sure did. They did. And you can hear it in the sound. You can hear it. They have a sound and you can hear it.
Yes. So I think like with this song, I think like, because I like when me and Elise did a live and we was talking about like, I think if we was talking about underrated producers, and I was talking about like Reggie Calloway and his brother, the Calloway brothers and all that. Elise was like Full Force. And then like Elise went, it was like maybe 15 minutes I wasn't talking at all. And Elise was just going.
I go, listen, I go hard for Full Force. And past the music, I like outside the music part of it.
Yeah.
They're just so fun.
Mm-hmm. Like, the music was fun.
Smile. They
had
just
good energy.
And they just do them, and they smiling, and they friendly, and
they beating up Kid and Play, the oldest high school students you've ever seen in your life.
Look
like y'all got 2 mortgages and a house full of kids. Talking about you conscious motherfucker.
They just dancing and just like so even if I didn't like the music, I like them, but then I love the music too. So I go so hard for them.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you can tell that they were just having so much fun making the music. Like you can feel it. You can feel the fun. That's why I said, even though like we're older now, we realize I wonder if I could take you home. It's a little problematic, a little bit.
Definitely a little coercion going on there.
Yeah, a little bit. But again, it's just a fun song to sing along to. Like it just makes you feel good. Like I was just playing it today. I know my neighbors was probably pissed because it was like maybe 7:30 this morning, and I'm like blasting it, and I know my neighbors was like, "What the hell is going on?"
I know JR's neighbors hate when I visit.
Oh Lord, I can imagine.
Baby.
I can imagine.
Me and JR, we just get very excited to see each other.
Sing-alongs, the screeching.
Yeah.
Y'all.
And then Elise goes out on the balcony, so we open the door and leave.
Oh Lord! So y'all got outside in there.
Yeah. So I know they probably was like, "Is she there? Is she there?"
His friend's there, guys.
Jesus is there because it's really early.
Get your blasting
this music early
in the morning. It's ridiculous.
Oh, they are sick of y'all shit.
It's horrible. So I was blasting it today, and I was just like. And I'm starting like literally getting it because again, I'm just singing along to it. Sometimes maybe some songs are problematic, but you just sing along to it.
Absolutely.
But even though a couple of years, maybe it was maybe about 5-6 years ago when I was singing the record, I was at work and I was like, wait a minute, hold up. What did she just say? Oh, okay. This tells sure, man, like a dude. And then I was listening to it today, and I was like, "Oh man, maybe I'm wrong for singing this right."
I mean, like the interaction and him with this high school ass game talking about since you don't love me. I'm like, oh, boo, trash.
Could you imagine if this song without Ben and all that? This song would be completely canceled.
They would have deaded the whole shit.
It would have been deaded
in front of these dudes singing this old anti-woman like booty press music. What the fuck is this shit?
Booty press. Yes.
Like he was pressing her for that booty. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Her.
Oh man, but that album, that debut they had like three hits from that joint.
Yeah.
Three.
What a time. I mean, like, despite its problematicness, I mean, I was a kid. I ain't know no better. It was just some shit to bop to, and it was just joyful. Like you just heard it, and like you would like explode with joy, like immediately. Like, oh, it's my jam. Everybody get out of my way.
And then the video's so bright too, and it's just so everything is so colorful about it.
And top. It was such a legendary
dress.
And that headband. Oh my God.
Like every dude was in love with her.
Yes.
Absolutely. And you
still are.
Yes, sir.
Lisa still look good.
She still looks good. She's gorgeous. Yes. And you know, she had them things.
Yes, she did.
She had them things, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, she did. Yes,
she had them yamins.
That's why she said that's what when she said on her Unsung, she was like, you know, Bow-Legged Lou, and then was like, what are we gonna call her? And she was like, they looked at this. And they was like, God. Lisa.
Oh my God.
And she was like, she said it wasn't even degraded because, like Elise said, they're fun. So you knew it wasn't trying to be funny. Yeah. It was just, she was like, yeah, I liked it. It was like, okay, like, cool. You want to call me Lisa? Okay. But then she said now, when she was on her answer, she was like, they was really looking at my breasts, but thinking about it, I do have big breasts. Like, she was like, I can't help it. Like,
and nothing like she could hide it.
Yeah. Hello. Not in that pink outfit in that video. She couldn't. No. No. No.
She could not hide nothing, and she gave us a good body roll in that joint.
Listen. And then she turned around and did it. Like I was like,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We were all in the house doing the exact same thing. Yeah. That's a deep body roll song. That is a deep body roll song. Like, absolutely. You can see people on Soul Train tearing that up on the Soul Train line. I don't recall if they did one, but if they did, you know, they wore that shit out.
Especially if it's Rosie Perez.
Look. Okay.
He killed Soul Train line. What?
Ooh, Don Cornelius was sick over her, boy. Like, yes, he was. That's that New York shit right there. I was with it.
Take over, man.
We was all with Brooklyn in the house.
There it is. Okay.
He's in the house.
Yes. But yes, we are so happy that you picked a fun song that we can laugh and fool about, because Lord.
Child.
How many times I gotta say sorry? Damn.
She did.
I mean, the saving grace is that it was Donnie. So, you know, I talk about Donnie in my sleep and just anywhere. Like, Donnie.
Now watch. Matt's gonna be like, all right, the next song is gonna be sad again. I got y'all happy, but I'm gonna get you sad
have
again.
Y'all weeping. Like, you're gonna come on and there's gonna be snot bubbles. I want emotion.
Right, gonna have us lost in an emotion.
You see it.
Have you brought it back?
Yes.
You see it? You see it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You getting better at it.
I'm getting better. I'm getting there. I'm
Good job.
A little bit. I'm getting there. Because I normally be the one that's going left. Like,
good job, everybody.
Yes, thank you for hanging out with us. And if you like to be found, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on the interwebs talking shit at Mostly Max on Twitter, Mostly Max and Other Things on IG. And every week, just ranting on Mostly Max and Other Things. You can find it. You can find it at your favorite podcasting appliance of choice: Apple, Spotify, Google, other whatevers that I don't know, and on Anchor. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
And her podcast is so dope, and me and JR have been on it individually and together. So
that's how much I love you guys.
Yes, yo. Oh God, y'all have to go to this podcast because I'll be at work like Max gonna get me fired, yo.
My bad.
HR lady gonna get fired.
Go get me fired. Cause I'll be like, cause it'd be like serious and then Max would say something crazy and I'm like, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm at work. Oops.
My bad, y'all.
No, please. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Definitely not for the kids, because I'll be cussing.
But yes, all listeners, watchers, or whatever. Very high quality podcast. Dope guest. So definitely check it out. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Very good.
And thank you for having me. This is always a good time. It is always a good time with the R&B representative. I have to say R&B representatives, like a proper New Yorker. I don't use ERs or anything like that. It's R&B representatives.
Like it. We need to get Max to do it for us.
Right.
I can be your Maybach music lady. It's the R&B representatives. It got to be like that.
Yeah.
I like
you gotta put the hands up and go like that.
I like
oh no.
But yes. Thanks to Max. Thanks for y'all hanging out with us once again. Thank you for always sharing and hanging out with us. And we are the R&B representatives, and we will catch y'all on the next episode of Catch That. Hey y'all, and welcome back to another mini fan episode of Catch That, where we get to know our friends through their favorite songs. My name is Naturally Elise, and that's my bro.
JR.
We are the R&B representatives, and we are welcoming back one of our good girlfriends, Mica. Hey, boo.
Hi. How are you both? I'm happy to be here, like Eddie Murphy say. I'm happy to be here.
And just, tell the folks a little bit about yourself, just who may not have seen your last episode, as much or as little as you'd like to say.
Cool. Of course, everybody know I'm from the Bay Area. Got another Oakland t-shirt on representing that. Do not take BART if you do go. But I am a self-professed Luther lover, of course, R&B. I grew up in a household. It's in my DNA, so I absolutely love it. I might not be as a guru as these two, but that's who I am in a nutshell.
Child, she knows just as much as we do. It's not
okay. Okay.
But I'll let you have that. I'll let you have it. So tell the folks what song you decided to talk about today.
I decided to choose another one of my favorite singers for sure, because I do love it. I chose Philip Perry, Call Me. And I still got it on compact disc, baby.
Wow.
Compact disc.
Let them know, Mica.
Listen, we not new to this, but we true to this.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, from his 1991, I believe, The Heart of the Man album. It's actually one of my favorite albums. So not just songs, but that album is like one of my favorite albums too, as well.
So when do you remember first hearing the song, and how did it make you feel when you heard it?
Man, you know what? My mom played this song on repeat, but it also played on the radio a ton. Like, it played on the radio a ton, like not just Quiet Storm, but I'm talking about in the daytime as well, those there. So I mean, literally, I grew up hearing this song on loop, not just in my house, but also just on the radio when, coming from school or whatever. Like, this song was very, very popular. Some people are kind of sometimes treat it underrated, but it's like, I think it was #1 for him. It's his only #1 song, but literally it played everywhere on TV, all on your jam. So it was literally on repeat, but my mother loved this album. So it was just always constantly on repeat.
Yes. So, what JR?
You know why I'm laughing? Because y'all remember this like y'all love this joint like crazy, and I'm just remembering when Mica introduced it to me.
You hadn't heard it before?
I haven't.
So on our North Carolina trip, for anybody to know that we do a group trip there as music heads.
Yeah.
And I was like, have you ever heard Call Me? Because Aretha had passed at that time.
Yes.
And I was like, we were talking about Call Me. And I was like, have you ever heard Philip Perry's Call Me? And Jared was like, I ain't never heard of that. And we played it and his mind was like blown. Like
I was gone.
What?
It just, the only reason it shocks me is, for one, because it's JR. And usually he
always on the tube.
Especially with covers. Especially with covers and stuff, like he usually have heard, like he'll pull out covers that I ain't never heard of or never heard, you know what I'm saying? So that's one reason it surprised me. The other was because the song it actually was a big song for him. So I thought maybe you would have heard, like you might not have heard it because you'd have been a little youngish, and then you also would listen to New York radio, which is different. Right. But I was like, well, maybe one of his parents or his grandparents or something, or somebody. So that's why it threw me off.
Yeah. Like I was shocked when Mica, like I said, my mouth was open the whole time because I was like,
and he was like,
how the hell did I hear this before? Like I was like, what the hell?
I would contend that it's probably the best cover of an Aretha song.
Possibly. I agree.
It's the best cover of an Aretha song.
I agree.
The way, and this is the thing, I've heard it on wax. He kills it, right? I've heard him do it live because I took my mom to see him when he came to San Francisco. That was probably before I moved to San Diego. Okay. That man sings that song as if Aretha wrote it for him to sing.
Mm-hmm. And what I like about the joint is that you don't even think about Aretha's version when you're hearing his.
At all.
Like, he ate that shit up. Like
he said, turn on the mic and watch me go. Because that from the time the song starts to the end, kills it. He fills the time, and to the point where you'd be like, hold on, let me just rewind it one more time just to make sure I didn't miss nothing because I was fanning out too much.
Yes.
Because that is literally, that's how crazy that is. But you know what it is? Like, it's even different than the studio version of Aretha's Call Me and different than the live version. So he literally set himself apart, literally from both of her versions, which is amazing, by the way.
Yes.
But it's just I don't know. It's just like the way he sung it, he didn't oversing it. He was just right in the pocket with it. And his high note is nuts.
And you know what? Even though it was in the pocket, it still was dramatic but in a very good way. But controlled and dramatic at the same time. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of one of my favorite things.
He brought up the begging part, right? Like he begged on that.
Yeah, he begged. Oh yeah.
Like, you know, Aretha made it sweet, right? Like, call me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I care. That man was begging for the call, okay? for the call. It wasn't like, you know, call me when you get there, send me a text, do something like that. You know, put a message in a bottle, like Atlantic Star say. That man was screaming and begging, like Teddy said when he did turn off the lights. He called me now. Urgency.
Don't forget.
Don't forget.
Don't forget to call me, baby.
And then to have what I like, because then after that, because Mica was like, after I heard the song and I got over my like, okay, I just heard this shit. Where the hell was I? She was like, I'm gonna need you to go listen to The Heart of a Man. Just go listen to it. Whenever you get time, go listen to it.
It is a dynamic album.
What the hell was I missing? I was like, what the hell was I missing? Like,
but what's interesting is, okay, it was Aretha cover, and I had heard the Aretha song before, but I didn't really remember it. I was, you know, youngish, and so I didn't really remember it. So Phil's is my version because that's the one I heard a bunch of times. Okay. That's the one I first remember hearing, and so
I get it.
I'll be honest with you. I probably in lineup wise, I probably listened to his first, And then I go to Aretha's live version at Fillmore before that, because it has that same energy. Because the way she sings on the live version is way different than the studio version. And she brings out like this like longing or this begging the way he does. So it kind of matches that energy. But I mean, for him to come in, and he always says that it's his #1 song, and he kills the song every time he sing it. Like, even you could pull up like YouTube videos. He has one where he's like live in San Francisco or something like that. And he's like in a brown suit, and he tells like a story and all this stuff, and he goes into it, and you got Dave Cobbs playing the saxophone, all that, and that man literally is like just singing the hell out of this song. And it's just like, for him to not really have like a hit after that is crazy to me, because this album is nuts. But also his second album, he does a cover of Spinner's Love Don't Love Nobody and Patti LaBelle's If Only, what is it?
If Only You Knew.
Yes. That. And those are two amazing other covers that he does. Like, it's literally, the man can sing, but he also was a background singer too, and was in a group. And he came in that time, right? You think about it, because he was in that like group with Rochelle Farrell, Will Downey. What is his name? He passed away. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. That was George Duke. So remember, George Duke had that big jazz album. Like, they were all a part of that. They all sung background, because you can look at some of those and you see that he done background for each other, or Rochelle did background for him. Like, that's probably why them damn albums so dynamic, because you talk about just singers on top of singers.
And then the players that's on it, because he got on that record, he got George Duke playing the piano. You know what I mean? He got, what was her name? Was it Evelyn Hart? Is that her name? Somebody who have, because that's what I love about the record. That damn saxophone goes the fuck
crazy.
What?
He matches the energy of it.
Oh my God. I was like, that's what took me when it first started. I know where you're going, at least I'm not gonna say it. But I'm not gonna say it. I knew what you're waiting for. I'm not gonna say it. But when you played it, that's what got me, because you know when Aretha starts, the piano gets you. Dun, 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 dun. And then kind of the little horn comes in or whatever. This sax comes in and hits you off the break. I was like, okay, where is he going with this? And then he just comes and starts singing, and I was just like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, he didn't have to do it like this, though. Like, he didn't have to do it like this.
He didn't have to do that.
No, he did. I know Aretha probably was like, this nigga, really?
You know she was.
You know Aretha wasn't very happy with it. Come on now.
God bless her soul, but you know.
And speaking of the horn, it's like it's parts of the song where it's like Phil's having a duet with the horn. Like, it's like they're going back and forth. And actually, that's my favorite parts of the song, when they're doing that.
Especially like if like they have like a little breakdown and the horn is going off and he's just like scatting with the Call Me, and it's just like, come on, bruh. You've already killed us for the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Do we really need this part? I mean, we already dead, okay? Why do we need you scatting?
Right.
Going on. What is going on here? Okay.
If you're trying to do
to us, Mr. Phil Perry.
Right.
East St. Louis in the house for sure, because man, he brought every bit of down home soul, Midwest, whatever he can from the swamps. Okay, sung that hell of the song.
Word, y'all. Oh my God, like he ate that, because y'all talk about with covers. Y'all know the only cover that I really know, because people normally do it live, but the cover that somebody did it, and I was like, I know Aretha probably was like, bitch, you know you can't take my song, was Diana. Diana did it.
Yeah. And she got nominated for a Grammy for it.
What?
She did the cover of Call Me.
And she was nominated for a Grammy for it.
Yeah.
Listen, Lady Diana, we love you, but that one number Barry pushing in the back.
You better believe it. You better believe it. Aretha probably was like, this bitch really doing my song and think she doing something with it.
You know, it's just, no. No. Because what?
That's all.
First of all, I would actually take the time to actually go research and listen to it, but I don't think that's in my ministry. Lady Diana, no way. No way. Okay? Oh my goodness.
I mean,
we tried. Good effort.
Cause I think Hal Davis did it. I think he did it. So because Ashford and Simpson was a part of her debut, and this was a part of it. So it was like, I was like, come on, Diana. Now we your impact is great, but you trying to cover an Aretha song, like
not many people can do it and then take it over. That's the thing. Like when you think of Call Me after you hear Feels, you don't think of this. That's hard to do when you're talking about legend, especially Aretha, right?
Yeah.
I consider her, she is music in a way. Fact. I ain't never known nobody else that could sing every damn genre known to man and do it well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And for you to take her song and be like, that's mine. And nobody really knows who you are. You really are a background singer in a way. Yeah. And for you to come and just snatch that and say, yeah, that's mine, from the Queen of Soul, like that's crazy. That's
like awesome shit. Like what's his name? Kenny did with Stevie Joint. Like he was like, yo, this shit is mine. Like this song is mine. And that's exactly.
Oh, you talking about Ribbon in the Sky?
Yes. Yeah, Kenny said.
I'll be honest with you. I really don't like that song, just period.
No, we don't. We don't. And we don't go often.
But intro do give it a little bit of extra seasoning. So
absolutely.
It make it palatable. Because
we don't like the original.
Oh, baby.
It's like when you see that picture on Twitter with the bland chicken breast on the grill. I love you, Stevie, but absolutely not. Sorry.
Yeah. Steve Lynn, no.
Steve Lynn.
No. but like what Phil did on this, like I would never forget when I first heard it with you. So now anytime I play it, I think about like when Mica first played this shit. I was just like bugging.
And I would tell you, if you like he tours pretty good too. He goes to smaller venues. If you have the chance, definitely go see him, because he does a lot of covers sometimes in there, but he does The World is a Ghetto by War in his live shows.
What?
That he absolutely murders, yo. And he usually follows it up after Call Me, which is hella weird because them songs have nothing to do with it, but
no.
each other. But I'm telling you, if you love Call Me on Wax, if Phil ever announces that he's coming to a city near you, you should run and go see him.
Wow.
Because we're talking about, he is an absolute legend, and I don't think people really understand who he is. Like, those backgrounds on Anita Baker's Songstress and
Rhythm of Love.
He's on there.
Yep.
Some of them high notes in the background that you love for Anita, he's on there. Yes. A lot of those backgrounds, him is on Rochelle Farrell, he's harmonizing with her. Wow. Like, go see Philip Perry for sure.
You know what it is too, and that's when the change was starting to happen. That's why I think that album don't get the credit that it deserves, because this is 91. We know a year later, everything changed. It was no longer, because you got Keith Washington getting #1 records. You got People Bryson getting #1 records. You got Phil Perry getting #1 records.
We know who came in swinging in 92. She even knocked in her first record with a jersey on, dog. Like legit, like Mary came out, she swung, and knocked the hell out of the competition and changed R&B for what it is. But
she did.
This is the voices that I grew up on. So that's why I always say that I just love singers, and the man can sing literally anything.
Catch that, y'all. Catch what the Mica just threw. Catch what she just threw.
We don't just do soul singers, but we do singers, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that I really hope, like, with Call Me, it's such a dynamic cover, but I hope it makes people do a deep dive in the album, because this album has a really great flow to it too, which you can't say, because some of them early 90 ones, it'd be like, oh, the single was good, and they got another cut, and then
then you get to the
next four, and then go here. But this one literally has a great consistency to it.
And then to know that Brenda Russell is a part of this. She executive produced this joint. Like, so she's a dope musician, period. So for her to be the executive producer of this and then to have it flow the way it do, like last night when I was listening to it, he come in with the fast joint, which is Amazing Love, right? And he come in with that and it just flows. And I was just sitting there like,
and Brenda wrote 2 songs on the album too, in addition to the production, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure because I never looked into it.
Yeah.
No,
she
wrote my next favorite song, Forever.
Of that shit.
Yeah, she wrote Amazing Love and Forever.
But let me tell you about Forever.
Forever. I was going
Forever and Call Me is like, you just got to play them joints back to back, because that man was singing his ass off. Mm-hmm. Like, you thought Call Me was like, it's the pinnacle, right? It went #1 because, still in that 91, we still got great Aretha fans at that time, because she also had a comeback in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he has Forever. Brenda, you ain't shit. And also Phil too, because let me tell you something about that song. That song is forever for real. Okay, Forever Call Me. That's basically what you should have called the album. Forever Call Me.
I like that.
Because them two, listen, she ain't right.
She probably because Luther took her shit and ran. So she said, oh, I'm going to get Phil and I'm going to make him run it.
Run. Listen. Between Call Me and Forever, close the album. You know how sometimes when you bought the little sample and it had like the original song, then it had the remix, and then it had instrumental, and then it had this, they could have just did the whole song like that. It did the whole damn album like that with Call Me and Forever. That's why we named the album Forever Call Me by Phil Perry.
It would have made sense though.
And I also, but he's like, Luther, of course, is my favorite male singer. He is probably #2.
Damn, and you serious when it comes to vocalists. So putting him after Luther?
Yeah.
And it's just because the versatility.
Yeah.
The versatility is there, for sure. So it's just like I said, like, the man can sing any song you really put in front of him. Also, I would tell you, go on YouTube like JR does.
Yeah.
YouTube King.
Yes.
He also does a cover of the Dramatics In the Rain.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, that man is a covering fool, ain't he?
You talking about a background vocalist, right? He like, I'm gonna just come in. People want to listen to the original joints, but I do suggest y'all go listen to Forever.
Yes.
It's gonna be there.
Yeah, I agree.
But his covers are excellent. So don't let Phil get a hear your cover, because it's over. It might not go on wax, but don't let them do it live, because then you be like, I'm going to the tube. I'm going to the tube tonight.
I'm going to the tube, yes.
So this song, how has it affected your life in any way, or how you listen to music?
I'm really hard on covers.
Mm-hmm.
We know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we know.
I'm really hard on covers. I really do like the original a lot of the times. It's just because of the essence and the magic that sometimes the original song has. But he elevated that. It's also the reason why I love Luther, right? It's hard to go back and capture the essence of an amazing, legendary classic record and then switch it to make it feel like it's yours. And people don't realize it and can't connect it to the original. That's hard as hell to do. Mm-hmm. And I think that if you don't do a cover right, then it kind of just like deters me because his cover, like I said, Call Me is like actually one of my probably like top 3 favorite Aretha records.
Okay.
And for him to do that, it just changed the sound, the way I listen to covers. Come in, tell the producer, whoever, to turn the mic on and go absolutely nuts. But don't go nuts in a way where you lose the essence of to make it a classic.
Right.
Because this is a classic, right? 91?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. 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 It's hard. Like I said, it's hard listening to his cover. I mean, if you listen to his cover, and I don't think about Aretha at all. I don't think about her. It's like
hard to do.
It's hard. It really is. Because you will listen to somebody cover and be like, all right, I'm going to go listen to the original because I need, like, you know what I mean? But then when it's his, it was like, all right, I don't need to listen to Aretha. She good. She all right. I don't need to listen to it because he's like, I'm going to eat this shit up and throw out the damn bones. Like, for real.
Yeah, and like Mica said, towards the beginning, like, he gave it a whole nother like context. It's like he's begging. It sounds like he's begging, but yet with Aretha, like she said, it's more sweet, and it's hard to do that too. To like kind of you change the whole mood of the song, but you, I don't know, but it's still recognizable. But you switched it up.
And I think it's recognizable because it is a great Aretha record, right?
Right.
But I would tell you to compare because a lot of people be like, it's better than Aretha's. Absolutely.
Yes.
It is when it comes to Wax.
Yes.
If you really want to hear the essence of how Aretha sings that song and why it becomes one of your fave, you have to listen to the live version. And it's live at Fillmore. Hear her do it live and you get that same essence that you love about Phil Perry's version on her live version.
Yeah.
But I just think the way he approached it with respect, which is no pun intended, really, truly.
Right.
But he approached it with respect, with class, and to do it justice, right? We're talking about the Queen of Soul. Also, she's also not going to be too fond of it because you didn't sung it, but he still wanted to approach it and honor her, right? It's a way of giving honor to a great musician, songwriter, and talent and singer. So it's just like, that's what I love about it. A lot of times people approach covers and they don't approach it with that. Like, let me give this person flowers. Let me pay respect to the record, the time that it took, right? Yeah. You're talking about these original records have live musicians in the damn studio. And I probably would say Phil had live musicians at that time. It wasn't completely cut out. But, just having that essence and want to bring that back is always something appreciable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn,
very well said. Very well said.
I mean, what do you say after that?
I got none after that.
Yeah, I would say that.
Especially like you said, we're approaching it with respect. That's huge. Huge.
I'm
glad you said that. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Damn, she dropped that and I'm speechless and that's serious.
Actual factuals.
All right.
So yes. So do you have anything going on that you want to talk about, or how can people find you if you want to be found? and give him the disclaimer.
Yes.
Oh yes, I forgot. Yes.
You can find me on Twitter, Miss Mica Love. That's MSMICALUV. Please don't come with no craziness, because you will get blocked, and I mean that. They know I mean that as well. And you will get cussed out before you get blocked, so it'll be a double whammy. So don't do that. But I don't have anything going on really. I just work the 9 to 5. I just happen to be family with these two famous people here.
Oh,
So for sure, that's all that I have going on, man. Come talk with me, sports, music. I am all good with that.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. So, of course, we thank Mica for hanging out with us. We always love to talk to her and be in her presence.
Yes.
On the way up to the east side.
Okay. And then and we also thank all of our viewers for hanging out with us all the time, for supporting us, for supporting our friends that come on the show.
Yes.
And just learning more about R&B music, because that's just our passion, and we like to share that love with all of y'all. So thank you. And we'll catch y'all on the next episode of Catch That. Peace.